Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well as we get into the second video of the day, right? Double upload. If you didn't catch the news video earlier on, make sure you go and have a butcher's. Much appreciated. Enjoy. In relation to the stadium and in relation to Saudi wanting to build a Sky Stadium. Loads of stadium talk over there. Go and have a butcher's. Now, for this one, we are diving into the matters on the pitch, which is Wolves versus Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. We have a chance to progress to the next round. We have a chance to move on from the calamity that we witnessed against Sunderland. But people would look at it from that perspective. Personally, I can't. Right? And I'll explain why. I can't look at this. Bloody hell, this chair needs some WD-40, doesn't it? Much like Chelsea's defence. Hopefully, we get bundles of WD-40, and I don't think it's expected for this game tomorrow. But for the weekend, this is where we need to start paying attention. So I'm not looking at this game and treating it as it's a chance to bounce back. It's not, because the Ajax game was a game where we heavily rotated and we walked that game. Yeah, we absolutely cruised. And realistically, tomorrow we should be cruising. Without issues, without problems, whatever, with a poor defeat against Sunderland, whatever, we should be getting past these lot tomorrow pretty straightforward. I mean, surely, right? And I say that respectfully because Sunderland are a team that, and look, they're in the top four. That tells you everything you need to know. After 9 games, Sunderland are in the top 4. I'm not entirely surprised that they gave us a really good game. Wolves are bottom of the league. Convincingly. Yeah, there's being bottom and then there's being bottom convincingly. Wolves are already nailed on to be going down to the Championship next season. Instantly. Right? They are going to get relegated at this point. So there is, and especially, can I add, in the league, they just lost 3-2 to Burnley at home, at the Molineux. There is no reason why we should be going to the Molineux and not picking up a win. Even with a heavily rotated team. I am going into this game with as much anticipation as I did going into Ajax, yeah, where it's just, yeah. Obviously, that's the Champions League and it means a little bit more. But there's no hype here, yeah. Realistically, we show up, we get the job done. And then on the weekend, we play Tottenham. That's the game to bounce back. That's the one where I'm expecting a response because tomorrow I'm expecting a very heavily rotated team. So I'm not really looking at this as a response in any way, shape or form. What I do want to say, right, because off the back of that Sunderland win, that Sunderland win, our loss, that was the first time this season that I've really, really looked at a game and I felt somewhat of disgust. Not even like anger, just like... When we lost to Brighton, yeah, that was like anger. That was like, what? And we shot ourselves in the feet in that, like, pretty convincingly. We made some mistakes, some stupid mistakes. The Sunderland game was a game where, yeah, we made mistakes, but we also didn't do much. You know what I mean? It was just like, huh? What was that? That was the vibe for the Sunderland game. I'm expecting the response against Tottenham. Tomorrow, we are expecting heavy rotation. But I am surprised why, even coming into this game where we are going to have heavy rotation, the press conference today, how in the blue hell was there not one journalist in that room that asked about the substitutions in that game? Because we didn't really get it after the game against Sunderland, specifically about Josh Achampong coming off. We still are not sure if Josh is he carrying a knock or is he not? We still technically don't know. Right? Now, personally, I've not got him in my starting 11, and I'll explain why. But he was asked about the centre-backs as a whole, and he did talk about managing the centre-backs in terms of fitness, but he named 2 defenders that have been injured already. Wesley Fofana, Badiashile. Yeah, we get that. We know they've been injured. We know Fofana is back and he's kind of a little bit 50-50 hit and miss. We know that. It's Fofana. I'm not surprised. And Badiashile got injured. Okay, cool. We're not expecting him back, but we do hope to have him back soon because he's an option at left centre-back. But, okay, what about the others that are fit and are playing? Like, any word on them? Specifically, like I said, in the Sunderland game, we took off our best central defender to put Tosin on, and that did cost us. So... what's going on? Journalists not following up on questions that need to be asked. I'm not surprised, I have to be honest. But anyway, like I've already told you guys, that is a good portion of the team news, right? Maresca correctly, he's correct in this for sure, because this is something I can't even blame him for. He has to rotate. He has to. And as he said, if there's no rotation, there's big risk. And he named 3 players in particular that will be rotated tomorrow. They won't play. And I wouldn't want them to play. And that's Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and João Pedro. He said all of them are a little bit touch and go. And there's different reasons, but they're all a little bit, it's best to probably rotate them. I wouldn't play them tomorrow. There's no reason to play them tomorrow. We do have other players that we can call upon to play tomorrow to still get the job done against this Wolves team. I will say, and I'll be honest, if we somehow go out tomorrow against Wolves, right? They knock us out. We lose. Head's gone. This is why I can't comprehend that happening. Because Wolves have not even problems. They've got... What's beyond problems? Calamities. That doesn't sound harsh enough. What's worse than calamities? Not disaster. That sounds too light. I need something worse. That's the vocabulary I'm looking for when it comes to Wolves. They are a complete and utter mess, right? Even within. We got their manager fighting with fans. We got one of their players outside the ground having it out with fans. We've got all sorts happening over there. And understandably so. They can't buy a win from anywhere right now. So, please, tomorrow, can Charity FC stay closed tomorrow, please? Can we not open the shop window? Can we not? Can we keep Charity FC locked up? Operations are ceased for the day, right? Everyone is on annual leave, right? No one is in the office. Please call back on Monday. Can we have that for Charity FC tomorrow? We are not working tomorrow. Tomorrow we go out, we kill. Respectfully. But speaking like Antonio Conte, we go out and we kill. Yeah? I want us to go there and win 4-0. Because realistically, there's no reason why we shouldn't. So even with the rotated team, now, those are the players that Enzo Maresca did mention that should be rotated because of managing loads. And this is where I do sympathise with him because, yes, there are numbers in terms of the squad. And in some areas, there are quality, right? In some areas, there's quantity and there's quality. In some other areas, there's quantity and not enough quality. And when we look defensively, it's just the same issues here. Defensively, whether we've got everyone back, not everyone, but... majority of the players in that position back, we're still not well covered. Unlike other areas. If you have a full attack and a full midfield completely equipped, mate, we are laughing. If Cole Palmer is available, João Pedro is available, fully fit. Liam Delap is available, fully fit. Esteval is playing. Pedro Neto is fully fit. Caicedo is fully fit. Enzo is fully fit. Lavia is fully fit. Even the others, right? Whether we're talking about Andre Santos, whether we're talking about Isugo, where all these guys, all these options, if everyone in midfield and attack is fully fit, we are more than equipped. But the defense, even if we are fully fit, we're not very... the levels are not leveling, right? Midfield attack, yeah, I can live with that. The defense, you take out Levi Colwell, we got a problem. That's it. You just take out one Levi Colwell and there's an issue. You can just see that the quality just isn't where it actually should be. And now we have enough games to be able to really know for sure, for facts, right? Yeah, the quality is not there. Not to say there's absolutely nothing. Of course not, right? And everyone can have a bad game. But the quality isn't at the level compared to some other areas in the pitch where if everyone's fit, we're laughing. So... even with rotation tomorrow, the centre-backs, still concerning. So let me give you my starting 11. What would I do? To be honest, I would make wholesale changes tomorrow. I would, because I hear the doubt in terms of injuries. I hear the doubt in terms of fitness, and I'm a bit concerned. I'm not within. I'm not, at Cobham, inside. I don't know. But as a fan, from the out looking in, I just get a vibe like we're trying to walk on eggshells. And I don't like it. So personally, starting 11, let's jump into it. Here it is. So I've gone with Sanchez in goal. Now listen, if we're going to play Jorgensen, we play Jorgensen, cool. But there's no reason to rotate goalkeeper here. There just isn't. You know what I mean? Jorgensen had a Champions League game, for goodness sakes. I mean, he can live without this one, if I'm honest. But anyway, if he were to play, he plays. If it's not, it's Sanchez. So the goalkeepers are the goalkeepers. Left back, Hato. He can come in. Cucurella does not need to play this game. Right? There's no need. And we should still be able to get the job done. Right back, Gusto. Now, is Gusto actually fit? Is he ready to go? I hope he is. Because if he is, then great. Reece James doesn't need to play this game either. Right? So we're managing these players, these important players. And it's funny because we were saying that. Now, I wouldn't remove them for 90 minutes. I wouldn't mind bringing on Cucurella later or Reece James later for some continuity, because people think on a FIFA mindset, football manager mindset, right? Where everything's robotic and everything is machines and everything is numbers and that's it. Like there's no human element here. We lost. What you can actually do off the back of that Sunderland loss is actually have some of the players playing this game and build up some rhythm, even if it's 20 minutes, right? But they break the cycle. Because we heavily rotated against Ajax, we got the job done. All these players were meant to be fit. We show up to Sunderland and everyone's looking like they're playing on a hangover. Don't understand, right? So there's nothing wrong with bringing on some starters for 20 minutes just to keep up some rhythm. We don't need to neglect them completely and say, no, you're not playing because I'm fully scared and you're going to come on and get injured. No, some continuity is good. You don't want to just break the barrier completely like you would on FIFA or on Madden, because all you're seeing is energy levels. That your whole judgment is based on a bar. That's not how human life works, right? In real life, that's not how it is, right? They can handle 2 games a week. They can. But they don't have to play 90 minutes tomorrow. They can come on for a little bit. That's it. But it helps break the cycle psychologically. It puts that game against Sunderland to bed. If not, they're going to be coming on against Tottenham playing and still having Sunderland in their mind because that's the last game they played. You want to break the cycle. So I wouldn't mind bringing on Cucurella or Reece James later on, not a problem. Now the midfield is a different story. Well, sorry, not the midfield, centre-backs. Let's talk about centre-backs. Fofana can start this one, right? And alongside him, I'm gone with Chalobah. Now I've gone with Chalobah and I've not gone with Tosin. I'm tempted to go with Tosin, but I think there would be no speed in that front line, in that back line whatsoever. Fofana is operating on eggshells, literally. He's just come out the A&E room. And then you're going to have Tosin next to him, who's not the quickest. I would rather, if something happens to Fofana, at least Chalobah is there to compensate, at least with some level of speed. Right? That's my only logic here. I don't want 2 of the possibly slowest defenders in our back line. You know what I mean? Now, personally, I'm not playing Acheampong. And I'm not playing Acheampong because he should be starting Premier League games now. He's been our best central defender over the last few games. So he starts, right? So I'm not playing him tomorrow. I would look to, I think Chalobah can hack 2 days. I wouldn't mind going Acheampong and Chalobah. It's probably going to be Acheampong and Tosin. The gap between Acheampong and Tosin, Acheampong and Chalobah isn't such a stark difference. But I wouldn't play Acheampong tomorrow just because I'd want him for Tottenham. Right? So that's my logic there. Let me know if you agree or you disagree down below. What would you do in the central defence? Now, midfield, Andre Santos, Romeo Lavia. They are basically like-for-like replacements for Caicedo and Enzo. Right? Lavia fulfills the Caicedo role. Santos fulfills the Enzo role. Those 2 midfielders don't need to play tomorrow. Caicedo and Enzo do not need to come on tomorrow. Unlike Reece James or Cucurella, who I'm happy for them to come on a little bit, but just for fitness, just in terms of risk, you don't need to play tomorrow, right? I know I just mentioned about breaking the cycle and whatnot, but there's priorities. Players that are fit, like Cucurella, yeah, cool, come on. Reece, cool, come on. He's shown no sign of getting injured again, which is fantastic. But the midfield, that looks really delicate and I'm scared. Because let's be honest, if something happens to Caicedo, we're cooked. Well and truly, defensively, we are finished if something happens to Caicedo. And look, we've been talking about our defensive issues, and that's with Caicedo on the pitch. Can you imagine if you take Caicedo off? We're probably leaking for fun after that. So I want to protect the midfield, and I think Lavia and Santos are more than capable to fill in. In front of them, Buonanotte in the 10. This is a game that I think he should be able to manage against Wolves at the Molineux. Shouldn't be much of a problem. So for me, that's that. I've heavily rotated here. Gittin's on the left. He can start that one. We can bring on Garnacho later. Not a problem. I wouldn't mind having Garnacho on later. On the right, Pedro Neto is the one player that I've gone for some continuity because I want Esteval to start against Tottenham. He has to start. So, and to be fair, Esteval can play this one as well. Realistically, he can. And I think Maresca will start Esteval tomorrow. I'm not against that. But I want him to start against Tottenham. He needs game in, game out now, Esteval. And he's young enough and he's fit enough as well. He doesn't get injured. Not from what I've heard. Anyway, seems like he's raring to go. Does his defensive work really well. In attack, we don't even need to speak. He needs some rhythm now. He needs some game, some consistency. So I would start him against Tottenham, which is why I wouldn't mind starting Pedro Neto, but I would contemplate not playing Pedro Neto 90 minutes. I would take him off because Pedro Neto has played a lot of minutes, and I think he needs to not maybe play 90 tomorrow either. So there's that. And up front, Margue to start. We've already established, and Maresca said in the press conference, Liam Delap cannot play 90 minutes tomorrow. But he is back. Liam Delap is back, ladies and gentlemen. So that's fantastic. But Margue starts. Later on, second half, Liam Delap can come on, finish the game. Right? Or we can have it the other way around. Liam Delap starts and then Margue comes on. But look, Liam Delap, I think, needs to be embedded in. Right? So I would bring him on. I'd start Margue and then bring on Liam Delap later. So for me, that's the team. Let me know. Do you like it? Do you not? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your team? Let me know down below. But this is my start 11. As we go into the prediction, and this is where... What do I say here? Heavily rotated Chelsea team. Wolves are in the mud. I'm going to say... Wolves... You know what's mad? I think they're going to score. I'm going to go Wolves 1, Chelsea 3. Is that asking too much? It shouldn't, man. It's Wolves. Nah, go, all right, 3-1. 3-1 win. 3-1 win. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts down below. What's your predictions as well? Let me know down below. Much appreciated. We will be here. Well, we will be on Shootout tomorrow for the watch along to that. We're going to be doing that from home. So we're going to be here. So make sure you guys are here for that. Straight after the match review on Younes Talks Football. So make sure you're subscribed over here as well as over there. Go and check out our video from earlier on today on Shootout, where we go in depth about Chelsea. Both me and George go in depth in terms of that Sunderland performance and what it means for the entire squad and how is it that we're operating. Go and have a butcher's. Enjoy. Much appreciated. And I'll catch all of you here tomorrow for the match review after it's all said and done. And I'll see you on the watch along tomorrow on Shootout. So I'll catch you then. Have a good one. Subscribe. Notification bell on. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.